So, people, what's up? What's up? Everybody knows by now that Ryan the Truth Killings, that's how I remember him. I remember when he was TNA champion. I remember he called out John Cena on TNA programming. I remember him saying that he would whoop John Cena's. Yeah. But bottom line, R-Truth being let go, I don't understand the goddamn shock though. This isn't the first time these things have happened. This isn't the first time that people was let go. What happens is when you are a fan of someone, I'm nobody's fan, but there's people who I like. I respect what they do with their job and I like their character, but I'm nobody's fan. But the same way, how example, you care about R-Truth being let go, there's people that don't give a shit. Just like when other people were let go, and you didn't care because you called them jobbers and shit like that. Like they don't have a fucking family to feed, just like R-Truth, anybody else for that matter. That's just how that goes. You just don't care about other people, so it's selective when it's important who eats and who doesn't. Stupid shit like that. You see, I'll say this. You see the loyalty, and this is something that people are so stupid for. Vince McMahon, for example, many wrestlers have said, yeah, Vince McMahon has told wrestlers, you work for me, right? I will use you until you have nothing left. And you want to know the problem with that? Loyalty means nothing. You're only relevant or good to me as long as I see value in you. Even if the fans want you around, but I don't, doesn't matter. And this is like, I don't know, man. I guess some of you, I don't know, the immaturity, you're just naive as hell. You're just so misinformed about what's really going on in the world. R-Truth, he's been there all that time. He played this silly ass role. Now, I don't like his gimmick. I don't think much of the gimmick, okay? Because it's one thing, I know they experiment with characters. Like I said, if Dustin Rhodes was to come back to WWE, all of a sudden he'll still be that stupid shit. Back in the day, Eric Young was something like R-Truth before R-Truth, okay? When Eric Young used to come out, the pyro would come, it would make him scared, he's grabbing his heart, and, okay, his character was funny, but at the same time, it's like, I don't take him serious. I don't expect to see him win any big high-profile matches. People like that will never be world champion with those type of gimmicks. Now, if you remember, Eric Young became world champion years later. He became a heel. He played a great heel, had the thick beard and all, had the sinister look, but he became champion. He did all these different things. His character changed. Bottom line is what I'm saying. R-Truth wasn't a joke. When he was Ron the Truth Killings, he wasn't. And when he came to WWE, I can remember back, I think was it The Rock and John Cena who teamed up to fight against Ron Killings and The Miz? Something like that, or whatever. But bottom line, and he went, after that, somewhere after that time, that's when he wound up going complete goofball. But, that's the role he accepted. And this is what people got used to him doing. I remember when TNA, for whatever stupid ass reason, turned AJ Styles into a nerd. He had the same stupid persona. They made him a dumb character. And I'm like, and then when the commentators say things like, he might be a little eccentric or a little different, but don't get me wrong. And now inside those ropes, he is a master of his crowd. Hey, yeah, I know. I don't know why are they turning everybody to goofballs? And this is when TNA started to go the comedic route. When they started doing what WWE was doing. Now, R-Truth has been playing this role for so long. It doesn't mean it worked anywhere else he goes. Like initially to go somewhere, like if he popped back up, he does have a history in TNA. If he does if he pops back up there, right? They'll probably give him a nice ovation first couple of weeks, first month or so, whatever. Are you going to put him in the ring now and he's finally going to start winning some matches? Is he going to do anything worth his shit other than just walk around and be a comedian? You see, he's 53 years old now. His better years are behind him. So, does a character change make him stand out? How are you going to use him? See, the way I see R-Truth, man, is if you want to keep the funny stuff, right? He has to be used in a way where he can be funny, because that's what he's known for. But how much in-ring work is he going to do? This is the age when you start to tag them up with someone else, where they can, compete and hide their weaknesses and stuff like that, and prevent them from really getting hurt. But how much do you want to put him in the ring? R-Truth barely wrestled in WWE. The majority of everything he did was some backstage segment, being silly. He'll have a match, he'll get creamed out, but they like him from him being funny. Now, R-Truth isn't the guy that you put him on TV, the ratings go up. No, they just respect and like him because he's been there so long. And then people do find him funny. I personally don't really care for all the comedy shit. I don't mind someone with a sense of humor. But when that's a gimmick, that's one of the things about professional wrestling that gets old and gets stale, is the gimmicks. And people think that's what you have to have, right? For me, what I'm saying, a character and a gimmick are not the same. And when you're just known for doing one particular thing, that one thing can get stale. If you're known, like, think about back in the day when wrestlers had the same look for like years and years and years. And then you start noticing them get booed. You start to notice the crowd is not, as loud for them as they used to be. And then they, all of a sudden, they realize it was more than just turning heel. I need to change my look as well. My hair, my attire. If I'm wearing face paint, the way I wear my face paint, or maybe I'll start wearing face paint, or whatever it may be, I'll stop wearing face paint. Something has to change, though. And, it's dirty. Especially the fact they just had John Cena and R-Truth in the storyline. But, this is typical WWE. Now, what I will say for all you crybabies out there, if R-Truth was to get signed to AEW, all of y'all talking this bullshit right now about, that's fucked up what they did to R-Truth. You're the same poop-put ass motherfuckers that'd be going, well, I'm not watching R-Truth at AEW because my allegiance is to the WWE. Your dumb asses don't even work for the WWE. R-Truth did, and they fired his ass. So you know how stupid that makes you look, and hypocritical, because it don't matter where R-Truth goes. If you're an R-Truth fan, you'll tune in just to see R-Truth. But you know how you motherfuckers are. I'm telling you, people say, I heard this saying a long time ago, when you don't like a person that's just like you, that should make you look in the mirror. That goes a long way. Let that sink in. You guys are just like the WWE because you've been programmed to think like them, but you get your feelings over certain people. R-Truth being let go, there was no real storyline other than him just glazing John Cena and playing a whole my childhood hero stupid nonsense, but let him go for no reason. And it's been many people like, what the fuck, like, what are you guys so obsessed with complaining about shit or trying so hard to compare WWE and wanting to say they're better than AEW or anything, all this other goofy shit? Y'all so into that stupid shit, you don't even pay attention. How many wrestlers said, the same thing happened with John Morrison and his wife. It's like everything was cool. The last thing they know, they were supposed to be showing up for a show, and then they got the call saying that they were let go. Got the email or whatever, they were being let go. Out of nowhere. Same thing. All of these people. Shayna Baszler and what's the other chick that was with her and Zoe Stark? Same thing, out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Now, is that any different from you going to work? I've seen this happen several times to many people. Have you ever went to work and say it's holiday time or weekend or something? Hey, all right, hey, you done got a hug, everything, whatever, exchange gifts with people. Hey, look, I'm gonna see you in 3 days. All right, yeah, enjoy your Christmas. Happy holidays to you and your family. You get home. That same person that was just hugging all up, done left a message on your voicemail at home saying, as of today, your services will no longer be needed, that your employment has been terminated. And then they put a picture up in security, your picture up, and tell them not to let you back in the building. You know how many people I know that happened to? It's no different. Because they walked out here thinking everything was cool. What the no explanation, no nothing. And that person that was smiling and hugging them knew this is the last time they're going to see that person, unless they run into him outside somewhere. Yeah. So you don't have to, oh, that person did something to that, or they had backstage heat, or what. No. Everything is cool as far as you know, but they just let you go. And that's what happened with R-Truth. So does R-Truth retire? People of his, been in the game that long, he can, show up at in this independent wrestling organizations, and he can, do appearances and stuff like that, make money still traveling and doing all that, because I'm pretty sure at 53, he don't want to work harder, he want to work smarter. Now, he has a history with TNA, and here's the thing. TNA is in a crappy position right now. I don't think TNA is going to be saved by somebody coming back to their show to be funny. I don't think that's the case. I don't know that TNA would even know what to do with R-Truth. Because at this age, if he tries to go back to this Ron the Truth Killings character, it's not really going to matter, because I don't really see him beating too many people. You understand? And if he does, you know how bad that makes the TNA roster look. They already got a joke of a champion, had an average Joe champion, and now you're gonna have a 53-year-old man come over there and he's just kicking the shit out of everybody. And don't get it twisted. Y'all call everybody jobbers, right? Y'all don't call R-Truth one, because you like his character. When is the last fucking time you seen R-Truth win anything meaningful? He's nothing but a fucking jobber with a sense of humor, a comedic jobber. Now, I'm not saying this to bash R-Truth. I think it's fucked up how they let him go. I think it's fucked up how they let all of them go, when they just out of nowhere. And the same thing when somebody was on TV last. Now understand, him and John Cena's storyline, you heard R-Truth saying shit like, I seen something different in John Cena in that match and all that, whatever, because they're trying to, I believe before John Cena walks away, something's going to happen where he's going to turn face again. So not only when he leave and they start to think you've seen this stuff and all, it's more of an emotional thing. Now, the truth of the matter is, they should have gave R-Truth the right type of send-off. The reason why they didn't want to give him the right type of send-off, one, they probably never even crossed their fucking minds. Okay? It's on your mind. Like, not R-Truth deserves better. Yeah, but they're not thinking like that. That's why they did what they did. Two, even if they had a thought about it, let's just say, which one of them you think want to get booed up out the building? You think Triple H already pissing a lot of people off? Who, The Rock? Who? Which one of them? Because unless a higher up comes out and give a presentation and, they're parting ways or whatever, they know the fans are going to boo the hell out of whoever's that person. None of them want to be man enough to do that. So, no, they're not going to send him off that way. I mean, how do you think Braun Strowman felt when all of a sudden he gets a call up and he's getting paid very, very well until he's being let go? Not, are you willing to take a pay cut? No, not even just being let go. So you guys keep running around here bragging about how rich the WWE is and how they're number one, and you keep doing that. And every time they fuck somebody over, see, I understand how business works. You guys are just fans. If you ever heard a person say, man, I used to love that food, but when I start working in that restaurant and I smell that food all the time, you got these different chefs and they're like, man, you don't even want to eat that shit. If you work for different places, like I used to work for this hotel that had a huge indoor water park, right? Yeah. The water park, the facility itself, the way the hotels are set up, everything, beautiful. But the people are rotten. Low down, dirty, disgusting, rotten, lying, fucked up scumbag of people. I mean, they are rotten people. You, as a guest, and don't meet these people, okay? Let me show you how phony they were and are. They gave us what you call a 5 to 10 rule. When I told them they'd go fuck themselves. Literally said that. I'm doing that stupid shit. I'm a grown-ass man. You're not going to control what the fuck my facial expressions are. This is what they did. They tried to give us an etiquette course. The same people that curse and swear every 5 minutes, that lie and make up shit. Cameras all over the building, but yeah, you got to actually go to that point where security got to pull the footage and show. So the 5 to 10 rule meant when you're walking down a hallway, as a supervisor or a housekeeper or whatever the fuck, houseman, whatever the fuck your position, as you walk down the hall, within 10 feet, you smile. Within 5 feet, you look at them and say hello. We're like, the fuck out of here, man. This motherfucker walking down the hall on his cell phone. Ain't nobody thinking about you. You looking like some psychopath just walking down the hallway smiling for no reason. Like, no. Nah. This is what people do, man. You ever heard that saying, just go to this bullshit party, kiss babies, shake hands, and do the politics and bullshit. That's what it is. You guys don't see what's going on. Some idiot made a comment and said, in reaction to my video about WWE being terrified of AEW, I fucking mean exactly what the fuck I said. To show you the level of stupidity. The guy, I'm pretty sure the WWE is afraid of AEW. LOL. I'm like, yeah, the fucking joke is you dumb bitch, because here's the reality. You see, this guy, Nick Khan, or whatever his fucking name is, let's look at something. I don't give a fuck how they book their shows. I'm not concerned. They can book 25 fucking shows in one fucking week for all I care. This is why one of the reasons they're feeding you bullshit and garbage products. They're trying to give you so much content that it takes your attention away from AEW. That's what they're hoping happens. So, which one of you motherfuckers give a fuck about watching AAA? Which one of you motherfuckers give a fuck about watching TNA? Okay, so let's eliminate those two right there. You motherfuckers don't even watch NXT. Why the fuck would you watch AAA? Why the fuck would you watch TNA? Understand what I mean? All y'all watch is SmackDown and Raw, right? Okay. So, they give you a Saturday night's main event. They give you a Great American Bash. They give you events 2 weeks away. Spaced out where they're trying to block AEW. They're not going to block AEW. They're trying and hoping that them putting a show out will prevent people from ordering AEW All In or tuning in to watch Dynamite or Collision. Do you think the people that live out in Texas where they're going to hold All In is not going to go because WWE is giving a fucking event? They're so stupid and behind. This is just spiteful, pure evilness. But it's funny to me because they don't understand AEW has its own fan base. They fail to understand this. They have their own fan base. You can't fuck with AEW. It don't matter what you try to do. And Tony Khan's not a bitch. He's not going to lay down and just take. No, Tony Khan fights back. So when they have their 4-hour Fighter Fest, I think it's this week. Yeah. It doesn't matter what WWE tries to do to counter it. And let me explain something to you. I don't work for a lot of places. I know how shit goes. I did music. When you book shows, you have to know is what any events coming, what they got free on the calendar, because you want to do an event. That's what you do. If you want to use the same facility, or the fact of the matter is you're trying to make something happen, what is AEW's next pay-per-view? On the 15th? Okay, cool. Let's call and try to book a show on the 15th for whatever. This is spiteful. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody, oh my God, AEW is in trouble. No, they're not in trouble. They're fine. You stupid WWE fans are the ones being cheated because your dumbasses will sit there in front of your fucking TV and watch this garbage just to make a video the following day ranting, I'm fucking pissed. WWE. Oh my fucking. Right. And then you're going to tune in the next week, and just keep bullshitting yourself. Sound like a little bitch because they're giving you shit too quickly, which means there's no real thinking process going on to put these wrestling shows together to give you quality products. No, they're just thinking, see their ego, and them crossing their fingers is hoping that whatever attention and momentum that AEW has, that they're trying to stop it. You guys are too dumb to understand that that's what the fuck they're trying to do. Who cares? Who gives a fuck what you think? I know I see what's happening. In fact, it's funny because after I made my video, WrestleMania was the other one, WrestleNomics was the other, yeah, all the big channels all made the same type of video 2 fucking weeks after me. Go look at the dates. And they're talking about the same shit. But it's like you lames that don't do shit but sit up and glaze motherfuckers all day long. You think that you have all the answers for everything. I just look at reality of what's happening. I don't give a fuck what the WWE does. I'm not watching WWE over AEW, so I don't care what the fuck they do. In fact, you know what's so funny? I watched Collision this Saturday, and I'm sitting there watching Collision, and I knew that the next day I was going to do videos, and so I wanted to get to my gaming, and I said I could get a Collision, video in, but I said, you know what? I don't feel like talking about wrestling today, right now. I didn't feel like, you understand what I'm saying? I enjoyed the show. I just didn't feel like talking about wrestling. So, as you see, I posted a bunch of gaming videos. There's no obsession, man. My channel is not a dedicated wrestling channel. I just talk about wrestling a lot. Initially, I was putting games up. Okay, the second gaming channel I had, I scrapped it because I was doing strictly fighting games only. The problem with that is, for me to have to balance just uploading only fighting games on there and then only fighting, and that shit takes a long time. The more space you're using on your phone to upload it, so you know what? Nah. So I changed the channel from game to games and entertainment, from Xbox and Nintendo Force, and before that it was Fight Night Rumble, and I just said, nah, I don't need to do that. I'll just make this channel diverse, and that's the better thing to do. So I'm not limiting myself to just talking about wrestling, because that's not what this channel is. Or I'm just playing games. It's different things that I want to do, and I want the channel to be fun. So I don't really want to talk about things that I don't like. And like I said, I'm gonna be honest, but it's like you guys can't even be truthful. So you're mad at the WWE for letting Ron and the Truth Killings go, but you're gonna defend them and their bullshit when it comes to people calling them out for doing dirty shit. Yeah, it's dirty, but who gives a fuck? I don't care what they're doing. I'm not saying, oh, they shouldn't do that. No, I don't give a fuck what they do. AEW fans don't give a fuck what the WWE is doing. They don't care, but they see it. It's always the blind WWE fan that doesn't see shit. It's like common sense. If you pay attention, if Burger King right now put an ad out, they post signs up, and they'll say, like 5 for $5, 2 sandwiches, a large fry, a large drink, and a 6-piece chicken fry, some shit. McDonald's is gonna say, okay, so since they want to take it there, we're gonna take it. Everything is about competition. Everything. And I don't know about globally, but I do know a lot of places I've seen where there's a Burger King right across the street, there's a McDonald's. Or there might be where there's a Wendy's, there's a Burger King and a McDonald's. It's that type of thing. Certain stores are like that. Now, White Castle, all these places, these things are advertised. People go online. They have people to check these things out. This is what they do. So we have to have our little bundles and packages. We have to be able to compete. If I can walk into your store, think about this. If you can walk into a restaurant, right? Damn, I get a full meal for $5. Okay, cool. And then you walk over to another restaurant and you're paying like $15 for a sandwich. a large drink and a fry. What are you going to do? You're going to go where the money's less. And you like the food as well? Okay, cool. So you're going to, where it costs less, that's where you're going to go. It's the same shit. It's all strategy. It's marketing. It's always trying to get people attention. Somehow you fools walk around here thinking like somehow, I'm so tired of people blaming WWE. Shut the fuck up. Shut your bitch ass up. Nobody care what you're tired of. Fuck you. We're plainly stating the facts. And everybody see it. They're like, no, they're doing this on purpose because they're trying to slow down AEW's momentum, but it's not working. They're not stopping shit that AEW is doing. And in fact, what's so funny, you motherfuckers try to make it seem like AEW is failing, but that's not what HBO and Max is saying. That's not what TBS and TNT is saying. That's just you fools. But at the same time, we're watching the decline in viewership in the WWE. Yet, somehow, it's not really happening though. Right. Your King of Kings told you, fuck off. Rhea Ripley told you guys are miserable. But you know what? I understand why Triple H told you dumbasses to fuck off. Because he knows you guys are going to do all this bitching and complaining, but you're still going to watch regardless. I give you an example of some shit, right? Everything I tell y'all, it comes into fruition just because I'm watching and paying attention to what's happening. Not because I said it, but because I see it. Okay, when you smell rain and the clouds get skies get cloudy and then you start to see lightning, you think that's some prophecy if somebody say it's going to rain. Isn't it just common sense? Like, yeah, that's all I do. You guys that want to believe lies, you're a detriment to yourselves. Around the corner from me, there's a GameStop. I watched them remodel that GameStop 8 times. 8 times in 2 years. They tried to do everything. They even brought back the $50 used Xbox 360. They were trying to do everything. Oh, with the hard drive and all, right? I'm looking at Game Pass. I'm looking at Nintendo eShop. PlayStation got their thing going, right? You can buy games, PC. You don't have to buy physical copies. I'm noticing when I go in Walmart, when I go in Target, any of those other stores like that, their gaming section, like how everything is not as widespread as it used to be. Best Buy, all these different places. And I'm like, you know what, man? Just like movie theaters, like drive-in movie theaters became a thing of the past, the same thing gonna happen where movie theaters are gonna be far and few spread out. Nobody's talking about what's in the movies anymore. Man, for years straight, everybody was talking about the next big Marvel movie coming out. The Transformers, the next Godzilla versus Kong. Who's talking about movies now? Nobody's really talking about movies, right? Look at all these different streaming apps you have. You have so many movies you've never seen before. So even if it's an old movie, it's new to you. But then you have exclusive that comes straight to these streaming services. Then after the damn movie come out in the theater, it's going to come onto a streaming app anyway. 2-3 months later. And I'm saying you're going to see the decline. You see it happening already. I said the same thing. GameStop is going to struggle because they don't have a bigger library than bigger, they don't have more in stock and than like a Walmart or a Target and places like that, Best Buy, GameStop's a little stores, I'm like, and then the hard copies, I can't tell you the last time I bought a hard copy game. Everything I've been getting has been online, just downloading games. So I like the hard copies because I get sick of this, my Wi-Fi works fine. But sometimes just that the idea that I like to be able to just pop my game in and can play it. All this, you gotta sync, you gotta that's for the birds, man. But they just closed that GameStop down. I told them, I said, I don't think this GameStop is not, and I mean just in general, GameStops are just gonna get to the point where they might be like the Blockbuster of video games and stuff. Blockbuster was like the top place to go get videos and all of that. And remember, they had like tons of VHS tapes. What happened when CDs became a big thing? They didn't nearly have as many CDs as they did VHS tapes. And then they were adjusting, they were adapting. And then what starts happening, man? You have these apps, these servers. I remember Crackle, when Crackle first came out. And then all this, the Netflixes and all that. And when these things start to happen, it's like nobody's going to rent videos anymore. You understand? Because now, guess what? I can turn on Netflix. I can turn on to this, and I can turn on Hulu and Amazon, Prime and all that. Yeah. When was the last time you drove past anywhere and saw a video store? You see what I'm saying? Same thing. And I'm like, GameStop is going to struggle, man, because younger people, much younger people, they don't care about buying a hard copy. They can just go and download the fucking game from Microsoft Store or whatever system you have, whatever. So they don't care. More, people that's more into like the just collecting, just being able to have that hard copy, they're more into that, but it's not enough. Because when you become an adult and you mature, you don't see that shit the way you used to. At one point, every week, man, every month, you in the magazine looking to see what game they had. Oh, they got a game, so let's run over and, you check it out. What's that show? Remember G4 TV? Remember the gaming channel they used to have back in the day? All that shit. And then at some point, man, you like, man, what the fuck I'm going to do with all these games? Now, some people who make really, really good money will turn like their entire basement into like a straight up arcade, and they got so many games, they look like a damn store. I don't want to do no shit like that. You understand? It's not that serious to me at all. I don't want to do that shit. So here's the thing, though. Regardless, when people are telling you what people are doing strategy-wise, when people are telling you how business is starting to crumble because they just can't compete. You see stores like JCPenney closing down, Sears, all these different places. Kmart's been gone for a long time now. And you go, nah, man, these are big companies. Yeah. And look at what's happening. It's like me explaining to somebody one day. I said, listen, I don't personally care about a Samsung, an iPhone, or whatever, a Huawei. I don't care about these comparisons. I don't give a shit about that. I said, I want you to understand this, though. iPhone, Samsung, the two of them companies are like the very biggest in the cell phone industry, okay? I said, there's no company more innovative than Samsung. If I didn't have Samsung, I'd be telling you the same thing, okay? I'm not going to tell you that what I have, you should have. I said, but let's get something straight. Apple, they make cell phones, they make laptops or whatever, they make their computers, their little, earbuds and all, right? Certain little, I said, you do realize Samsung make fucking refrigerators, washing machines, dryers, microwaves, coffee makers. You understand? Samsung sell for they do everything that Apple does. But do you know that in Korea, Samsung has a whole city? I'm not talking about a street and it's a couple of Sams. No, they have a whole city. They house their employees. Tennis court, indoor tennis court, swimming, gym, arcade, all this shit. Boats, all that big ass cruise ship. Samsung has a whole fucking city. Do your homework. And I'm like, you fucking Apple fan. What the fuck is with you little kids? Always want, I'm a fan. Y'all so proud to be slaves to something, man. What is this? Everything is a comparison. Foldable phone, nobody care about foldable phones. And then as soon as Samsung make one, Apple make one, oh yeah, I'm getting. I thought foldable phones didn't mean nothing to you. Well, yeah, shut your bitch ass up. Just talk too much. Apple don't have a fucking city to itself. Fuck you talk about they got a huge Apple store. I seen that shit. Good. Who gives a fuck? Samsung has a whole fucking city. Literally, in Korea, a city. They own all that shit. The fuck are you talking about, man? So my point is, because you like something better, that's your business. I think right now, WWE is garbage. I think right now, TNA is garbage. I'm talking about an overall presentation of everything. It's just like these companies done lost their heart and soul, man. They done lost their identity. I don't think MLW is garbage. I just think MLW is not consistent with being able to build something and then keep the interest there. But MLW, they're going their own direction, and I respect that. There's other smaller companies that you guys probably don't even know about. Now, I like what Maple Leaf Wrestling is doing. You know the thing about Maple Leaf Wrestling, though? The majority of people there are TNA wrestlers, some MLW wrestlers, and, you know, people that I've seen in other places, but I've seen these guys already. Even like Josh Alexander, who's now in AEW. And AEW wrestlers all go over there. So their roster, it's like I'd have to look and say who is actually on your roster that's exclusively Maple Leaf Pro. And outside of Maple Leaf, they do independents, but not, you know, wrestlers that's a part of a big promotion like AEW, and they, you know, coming back and forth. Notice, WWE don't allow its wrestlers to do that. They don't allow nope, you're strictly WWE. But they love the wrestling business. You so-called WWE fans love the wrestling business. No, you don't, man. So if like I said, if you guys respect R-Truth so much, and you love R-Truth so much, you support him wherever you go. And even though I don't like what WWE is doing right now, and I don't like what TNA is doing right now, I will still watch here and there when I feel like it. I'm not like, oh, I gotta watch because it's no. I'll catch it whether I catch a replay, whether I catch it on fucking YouTube. I might, you know. And look, I have Peacock. I can watch whatever. But I watch what I want to watch. Not what everybody else is saying I should watch or shouldn't watch or what is there. No. And like I said, whatever R-Truth decides to do is up to R-Truth. But all this support that y'all claim to have for him, we'll see how it happens. I really don't personally care what y'all do. But reality is, you know, he's not the last person. In fact, they just let Carlito go. I never understood what Carlito's role was. He wasn't even a good fit with all Carlito was a familiar face, nothing but it reduced to just a gimmick, come out eating his fucking apple and just interfere in matches and do absolutely nothing. He's the old. You see the pattern here? He's the oldest person in the Judgment Day, but he acts the most immature. R-Truth, 53 years old, calling John Cena, who's 48, okay, 5 years apart, his childhood hero. Like, what's with the silly shit? And I never understood the Judgment Day, period. From the beginning, when Adam Copeland was there, and he started it, okay, I got what he was doing. And this wasn't a new gimmick. This was the same. We done seen this before. Wrestlers that's not getting their just due, not getting their respect, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Then they turned on Adam Copeland. But ever since Copeland's gone, it's like, what the fuck is the Judgment Day I've been trying to figure out? Why is the Wyatt Six coming back only attacking tag teams? I don't know. Fucking Bo Dallas. I believe in Joe Hendry. Do you believe? There's something with these buffoons, man. So we just throw a mask on his face and call this motherfucker Captain Howdy, and all of a sudden now he's a killer. Like, what's the chick name? I forget her damn name. Remember she was a superhero at one time? Remember before that she was just screaming, hollering, pulling her hair, all this like, I mean, then the dude with all the tattoos, I forget his name. I remember watching him in TNA. I remember watching Shinsuke Nakamura way back in TNA. All these different people that I know who they were before they hit the WWE. All of these fucking wrestlers, what are they doing with them? And when you look at R-Truth's age, if you're going to cut somebody, you look at Carlito's age, if you're going to cut somebody, how are you using them? Like I said, they were paying Braun Strowman well just to let him go. What was all of that about? And I know when R-Truth was talking about, I seen something different in John Cena, y'all were thinking the story wasn't over. Something else going to happen and R-Truth is going to be involved. Well, people like Vince Russo, Zeb Coulter, a whole lot of people, Eric Bischoff, they felt like this was a waste of fucking time. Now, here's my thing. I agree. How the fuck do you bitch about Jeff? Who the fuck did Jeff Cobb just wrestle? Who the fuck did Jeff Cobb just wrestle? It was a shitty ass match anyway, but how the fuck do you think that that's ridiculous? But John Cena, who's now 17-time world champion, his first title defense is against R-Truth. That wasn't a joke to you? You actually thought R-Truth had a chance to win? Like, you really crossed your fingers and thought somehow he's gonna win? Really? Listen, guys. I don't know these people personally. I don't have anything against R-Truth. Like I said, I'm not into his character, but I feel like they did him dirty. And I feel like this should be an eye-opener for you guys. Loyalty doesn't get you anywhere in the WWE. It's who they choose to want to keep. And look at how they use him. He's nothing but a fucking comedian. He's a jobbing comedian. He can't beat nobody. He loses every fucking match he has. And the last thing R-Truth did of any significance, and really it was nothing, was him teaming up with The Miz last year, whatever it was, and they, becoming tag team champions once again. How long did that last? You understand what I mean? But it's like his character is just not to be taken serious. But all that loyalty, staying with the WWE, refusing to go somewhere else, and look at what it got him. But you got to say the same thing about Braun Strowman. You got to say the same thing, about Shayna Baszler, anybody else who was glazing the WWE just to get let go. Now, I can tell you this. I keep hearing rumors about Mariah May coming to the WWE. That's Mariah May's business. I don't give a fuck. I'm not personally saying, oh man, Mariah, don't go. If you go, you go. That's on you. I'm hearing rumors. Notice how every time somebody leaves AEW, this is how the type of hypocrites y'all are. And this is how I know that you know how potent and how powerful AEW is. Why is it every time somebody leaves AEW, I don't give a fuck if it's WrestleNomics, if it's WrestleMania, I don't care what channel, from the biggest channels to the smallest, why do every single one of y'all assume that that person leaving AEW is coming to WWE? It's like you're hoping. I hope they come over there. Well, I tell you something about Britt Baker, and I don't know if you guys noticed this. I noticed it. And I said, I noticed nobody's talking about it. I'm going to tell you this. Now pay attention to it. You notice when they keep promoting the All-In card, they're showing you like the past, All-In build-up. And y'all notice they didn't take Britt Baker out the fucking clips, right? Now, I heard the stories. I haven't heard anything from Tony Khan or anybody from AEW, but I've heard the stories that Britt Baker rubs everybody the wrong way in the back. She's hard, difficult to work with. Nobody really likes her. I've heard those stories. Could be true, might not. I don't know. Okay? But here's my thing. If that's the case, why the fuck would the WWE want a headache on their hands? What's going to happen? Your grown ass is going to go to WWE. Now you're going to learn how to play nice because you're in the WWE. But I noticed they didn't take her out of that. Now, no, she's not in the clips at, of Collision or Dynamite, but she's still in those. Every time they show those clips, she's in it. Once a person is no longer in your company, they always remove any likeness of that they had anything. So when I hear people saying she's done with AEW, okay, if she's done, she's done. But she's still in those little promo packages. That could mean her contract hasn't expired yet and she still is with them. But if they were letting her go, now I don't know if for whatever reason AEW just somehow don't realize that Britt Baker is in there, right? But I'm just saying, all of these claims, Mariah May, everybody, y'all always want to see them go to WWE. You know what's so funny though? I will say this. There's a lot of people being honest talking about how trash they're using Penta. versus, but you got people going, Pence is trash, Ray Phoenix is trash. No, they're not trash. They're being used like trash. They're very talented. Julia is very talented, but they watered Julia down. I've been watching Julia for years over there in Stardom and over there. I look, I know Speedball, Mike Bailey, all these different people that's AEW, WWE. I've seen these people, but here's the thing. Even when these people are telling you how nothing's happened since they come, Andrade Idolo, Aleister Black, all these, what are they doing with them? What happened to Brian Pillman's son? Or all these people that were supposed to be doing, none of these people have become superstars. They stock haven't grown. All they did was went to the WWE. And here's the funny thing. The Mariah May story says Mariah May turned down far more money than she was being paid by AEW just to go to WWE. I don't know where these stories come from, and I don't care. But the thing about anybody that leaves AEW and go to WWE, if you think you're going to go over there and be put, boom, to the top, you're foolish. And then, think about it, Mariah May was a solid AEW Women's Champion. If she take her little skinny ass over there and settle for going to NXT, she deserves whatever they do to her. Because there's no fucking way. There was no fucking way somebody of her stature should be going to no goddamn NXT. Stephanie Vaquer shouldn't have went to NXT. Jordan Grace shouldn't have went to NXT. They all should have went straight to either SmackDown or Raw. And Mariah May is no different. Now, if she accepts that bullshit NXT role, that's on her. And I say she deserves whatever they do for the simple fact history repeats itself mostly in a negative way, and people don't learn from other people. What the fuck do you look like, a former AEW champ? You done been there with Tony Storm, Chris Statlander. You done been there with some of the top wrestlers in the world just to go to a fucking developmental? So when I was saying this shit years ago, and these idiots, yeah, but NXT not a developmental. I'm like, shut your bitch ass up. That's exactly what it is. But y'all know so much. Then when they reference it as their developmental, oh, somehow y'all don't hear that part. That's exactly what it is. Well, either way, y'all, there's going to be more people let go. People are going to leave AEW. People are going to leave WWE. People are going to leave TNA, MLD. That's just the way it goes. All you Matt Riddle lovers, why y'all not over there watching Matt Riddle over there in MLW? Why are you guys so locked into just, well, I pledge allegiance, you pledge allegiance? You know how stupid you guys sound, man. I honestly look at you guys and I feel sorry for you. Because you really think that the WWE gives a fuck about you, that they personally know you. You guys are just slaves, man. You're puppets. You're poo putts. You don't even have backbone. You let people... think about this. I don't care how long you wrestle at a company. If that company has your best interests in mind, it would show, not just backstage, but on camera as well. Because you'll be booked right, and you'll see it and understand the work that's being put in the position that you're in. When you barely see a fucking wrestler's face, but that wrestler is on the payroll, right? Now, what I'm saying, a lot of times there could be things going on backstage, or a wrestler's not performing to a certain level. Like, it could be a lot of things, and I don't like to assume, okay? But when you are in a company, nobody sees you, and then all of a sudden their story comes out about how awfully they was treated in that company, how they just were I'm not even talking about they just told me they didn't have anything for me. I'm talking about mistreated. How many times have you heard people say that about AEW? Now, how many times have you heard people say countless times about WWE, how they mistreat their talent? Yeah. Call them a bunch of corporate bullies. Oh, y'all don't remember this kind of shit, huh? Yeah. All of these things. Why do you think that these things happen? And I'll tell you flat out, Any wrestler that beats his body up, his or her body up, have injury after injury, concussions and all types of shit, all surgeries and all that. If you make millions of dollars, you still don't want to be that person that life after wrestling, now you're in a wheelchair, you're hobbling around, you have a walk, all this kind of shit, right? Now, what about those wrestlers who's never seen $100,000? And they have done just as much, even more damage to their bodies. Think about that person. That's what you get paid to do, is go in there and put your body on the line. It's ways to do things. We haven't seen Darby Allin for a long time. People making videos. Could Darby Allin be WWE bound? Why would Darby Allin go to WWE? Why? They're not going to pay him more money. His character in WWE wouldn't work. They're not going to let him use his own creativity. Darby Allin would be a whole different fucking character in the WWE. And what are they going to do with Darby Allin? Darby Allin in WWE would be a fucking jobber, and that's one of the things that appeal to him about the people, because when you look at him, he's a small guy. You know, he's a daredevil, and he goes in there and he does over-the-top shit to entertain the fans, and they respect and appreciate that of him. Do you think the WWE is going to allow Darby Allin to be Darby Allin? They don't even let Penta and Phoenix be who they are. Once again, when you look at people and you say, I like this person because of that, I like that character, I like this, I like, right? Once these wrestlers connect with their fan base and people want to see them, you're just not a wrestler that's just on the card, but nobody really cares. Oh, okay, I know him, all right, but they're really there to see this one and this one and this one. Once that happens, you should be able to go anywhere, and wherever you go, your audience follows you. But unfortunately, we live in a divide and conquer era, because everybody's all about pick a side and choose this, choose that. And I don't watch this and I don't watch that. But what do y'all think is gonna happen? R-Truth and this Carlito guy is gonna be the last two people that they let go? You think nobody else is gonna leave AEW, or nobody new is gonna come to AEW? No, there's always somebody. Always. So once you start to mature, grow up and wake up and understand, that's just the way the world works, man. When I was a kid, I used to hear these people, it's a dog-eat-dog world, man. And that saying sounds so stupid to me. A dog-eat-dog world. I get what the saying was. I heard them and I understood, okay, a dog eating a dog. But dog eat dog, what? Okay. Then all of a sudden, one day, it just clicked. I was still a kid, but it just clicked what that meant when I hear people say that. And that's exactly what this is. Now, where R-Truth goes from here, we'll see. But this is the way things happen. This is not the first time. It's like, I don't know, man. Some of you are just a bunch of dramatic divas, man. But all of the shock, I don't understand. And that's why I say, you so-called wrestling fans, but you guys have short memory. Or you just don't care, like I said, when it happens to other wrestlers. But that's what it is. So R-Truth is no longer there. He's no longer there. And what his next move is, we'll see. But I'm really not, none of this stuff do I take personal. Why should I? It's not happening to me. It's happening to them. I think it's a lousy situation, though. I think he deserved better than that. I think they could have sent him off properly. All the loyalty, all of the, the work that he's put in for that company, being a part of what they're doing. But it just goes to show you what type of scumbags they are. But you guys are slaves to the machine, so you'll complain, but you'll forgive them and continue to give them your money and sit there and argue like a bunch of little stupid kids, worrying about the wrong things. Case in point, that's just the nature of the beast. This is all I got for you guys now. I'll catch you guys in the next video.